should let me love you forever, forever. I wanna love you. Will you let me love you forever, forever and a day, day,
day, day. That song is so catchy. I love it. Guys, welcome. 90 Day the Melanated Way. I'm your host, Linda Antwi, and we are doing all things the single life because we are catching up. Welcome, everybody. Hey, Raydella. Hey, girl. Hey. Hey, girl. Hey. Let's get some housekeeping because that's what we do first and foremost out of the way, y'all. So, a couple of things happening. We're expanding. So we are expanding to Roku, Amazon Prime, and Apple TV. So stay tuned for that announcement, as well as you guys are the ones that make this show happen. And as we grow and add more shows and add more celebrities and add more interviews, it's because of you guys. So your support means that much to me. And I want to start off with my Patreon subscribers. Olivia, Vanessa, Trisha, Sandra, Carol, Trina, Danielle, Rebecca, Marianne, Nia, Raydella, Linda, Brianna, Crystal, Nicole, Amanda, and Julissa, Donna over at Anchor FM. Shout out to you all, Chandra, Judy, and Beth. I appreciate y'all support so very much. Those of you guys that are not subscribed, definitely know if you're watching from YouTube, we do have super chats and super stickers. So think about that. And then if you have commitment issues, I have Cashapp, Venmo, PayPal, all of that's on the bottom of your screen. Anything helps. So feel free at any time. All right, live chat. This episode, can I just say that I really have a hard time just being objective with Ed. Like, I just feel like he's a lot of work. He's a lot of work and he's really, really, really needy. And I'm going to pop up my question to start his segment. And my question to you guys is, should Liz have given Ed another chance? Because here we are. He's back from Vegas. Super awkward because they got in a huge fight. They haven't talked in like 4 days. He's bringing his friend in, Lily, to get her advice. And he tells her about the trip. So first of all, you shouldn't even have gone to Vegas and introduced your daughter. It was way too soon. You guys have been dating for like a month. And now, and like, you're warp speed ahead. And that's my issue with him. He's warp speed ahead. And he forgets that he's in a different place. He's like 55 years old. She's in her late 20s. Plus, she's twice divorced. And she has a kid. She's a single mom. So, like, slow down, Ed. Slow all the way down. And I don't get it. But he wants everything on his time. And he wants to do what he wants to do when he wants to do it, period. And in my opinion, he's like, get with the program or we're going to have a fight or we're going to have an issue, which is what happened. They go to Vegas and apparently Tiffany and her friends show up and they don't even come over. First of all, you're partying with your dad at the club. Is that weird? I think it's a bit weird, but I mean, I guess. I was going to say, but maybe they're close in age, but no, because she's like 30 something. I don't know. I feel, would you go to the club with your dad if you were in Vegas? I don't think I've ever done that. I'm curious to know if you guys have done that. So Tiffany's friends show up and the group of them don't even come over to the dad, which says a lot, right? Ed says that they didn't come over for like 30 minutes. That says a lot, in my opinion. But turns out, you know, Tiffany wasn't hiding her disdain. She was not feeling Liz and apparently told her friends, and Liz overheard them talking shit about her and she got her feelings hurt and she got quiet. And that's what she does, right? She shuts down when she's upset about something. Now, what I did agree with Liz is that there's a time and place for everything. So yeah, you're having a bad time, but she's going to suck it up and just continue to have a good time at the club and then discuss it when they're in private back at the hotel. But because Ed is the way he is, he kept pushing her and pushing her and pushing her. So it became an argument. If she's like, hey, let's talk about it when we get back home, Let's talk about it when we get back home. But he couldn't let it go because he never let shit go. He just is on and on and on and on and on and on. And it's like, I would get irritated too. And I would shut down too because, listen, I'd already told you, let's talk about this when we get home. And you're forcing me to talk about it right now because you have your own insecurities and you're trying to make this about you. And it's not about you. And it can't always be about you. So just slow down. But no, he pushed her. So what happens? They get back to the hotel. They get in a huge fight. She books her flight home and she's like, peace, I'm out. And I don't blame her. I don't blame her at all. Shitty that she had to do that, but I don't blame her. She's like, I'm not going to take this. She's already having doubts about the relationship as it is. So, like, why should she? And then what does Ed do, though? Ed tells his friend Lily a whole one-sided story, which is what he does, right? He doesn't, what I can't wrap my mind around, you guys, is that he never owns up to his part of the issue. So if you're getting left, right, and center, so you haven't had a lot of relationships, and there's a reason because of that, right? You've been married and then you were single for like 20 plus years. And then your relationship, if we're going to call it that, with Rose lasted for a couple of weeks in real life. And then she left you at the hotel. Now you're a month into your relationship with Liz and she left you. Who's the common denominator? I'm just like, who's the common denominator? Maybe look at that and take responsibility for that. And you keep toting, by you, I mean Ed, keeps toting that he's in therapy and all this stuff. I don't really think you can be in therapy and not really address the issues. If you're not addressing the issues, then you're not going to get down to the core root, which is you. You're the issue. Okay? You're controlling and then some. So what does he tell Lily? He tells Lily they got in an argument all because the daughter was talking shit about Liz, and Liz doesn't really know how to communicate. She shuts down, and then so she left him. And then he made it about him, you guys. He made it about him. That just really pissed me off. So he said that he broke down and had an anxiety attack. Okay, but let's talk about why she left, and let's talk about your part of why she left. She left because you were pushing her when she wasn't ready to talk. She left because she was trying to have a private conversation and you were having a public conversation and fight with her. And she was fed up because you know what she said in this episode, which I think is totally true. He doesn't listen. He doesn't listen. Doesn't listen whatsoever, right? So he's going to be meeting up with her. They're going to talk about their relationship. And he's saying that he misses her, but they're both bad at communication. He loves her. She's the one. You guys have been dating for a month. A month. But she's the one. Do you know that for a fact? Because I can count on the one hand how often y'all hung out and then all this time apart. But she's the one. And you love her? Okay, Ed. That could be it. So he wants to reconcile. He wants to do whatever he can do. He wants to be with her forever. So he's got champagne. He's got wine. He's got the fire, the hot tub, like the whole shebang. And she comes over, which I was surprised that she actually came over. And, you know, she feels like Vegas was tricky, she says. She didn't feel comfortable. And she didn't want to talk about it. But what does Big Ed do? He talks about it. She's like, I don't really feel comfortable talking about it right now. And, you know, he kept pushing her and pushing her and pushing her. So she shut him out. And guess what? He does it again in this conversation. She literally says, I don't feel like talking about it. And he's like, well, you know, I'm sorry of what happened in the club. And I think that we're both bad communicators. I talk too much and you shut down. And what happened with my daughter, that shouldn't have happened. Oh, but let me manipulate you and say, I look like Darcy. That's funny. I don't know who Lavanya is, but I look like Darcy. That's funny. That's actually really funny. I love it. I love it. She's a little older than me. And I don't know. I have Darcy lips? Darcy nose? Oh my God, that's funny. Sidetracked. Anyhow, he manipulates the situation and says, oh, and by the way, when you left me, I had a panic attack. And so she starts crying because she feels guilty because he's flipping it. It's all manipulation, you guys. It's all manipulation. This guy is a master manipulator. He's a master manipulator. And I, for one, see it a mile away. And it's not okay. It's not okay. Hey, Laura, thanks. Laura says, you're beautiful. I love Darcy, but you do not resemble her at all. I didn't think, I've never heard that before. Like, not ever. But hey, man, to each their own. Like, I do, this person looks like that person all the time on my Instagram, and everyone says that I'm blind. But teach their, like, we all see what we want to see, right? If you think I look like Darcy, hey, I'll take it. I mean, if I went to rob a bank and the cops asked you, like, hey, what does she look like? Well, she looks like Darcy. I don't know if they'd ever find me. Oh my God, I died. So I think he's a manipulator, and I'm not a fan of that whatsoever. I'm not a fan of it whatsoever. So she starts crying, and he asks, I want to be with you forever. Do you want to work on this relationship? Do you see this forever? Do you want to be with me? Am I the one? All these questions. I'm like, dude, you've been together for a minute, like 1 minute, literally. So you need to calm down. You guys, I cannot with the live chat. You guys are distracting me. I get distracted easily. Hey, girl. Hey, Mashak says, which season, Darcy, do you look like? Oh my God, you guys are too much. So how is she going to answer that? Like, honestly, how? 1 month together and you want to know, are we forever? Are you serious about this relationship? Let's get married. Let's move in together. You're the one. I've decided personally and on my own that you're it. So get with the program. She says, she likes him and she wants to explore the relationship, but she can't say if she knows forever or not because it's been a 1 minute. So how about we all just settle down and see what happens? Because we all know what happens. It's all played out on social media. It was a hot mess. So let's just calm down. Calm down. So should Liz have given Ed another chance? Lori says, Ed does not deserve a second chance ever. Hey, Crystal. Hey, girl. Hey. Jojo says, as I've said before during Rose Days, Ed's ego is big than his buzz. And Radella says, I can't with him. Boy, bye. Ed is trash. And Patty says, Ed, be gone with thyself. Ed, be gone. Be gone with thyself. And Patty says, in one word, no. Point blank. Hey, Kimberly. Hey, girl. Hey. Kimberly says, she should not have given him a second chance. I agree, you guys. Like, I'm even shocked because, you guys, I did peek ahead a little bit for the next episode because I was just so curious. And I watched like the first 10 minutes and I just, you know what? I'm confused by Liz. It's like she wants to take it slow and then she wants to just be friends. But then 5 seconds later, I love you and I want to be in a committed relationship with you. And then, we'll take a trip together and we'll take another trip together. Like, I can't wrap my mind around it. Like, are you in it or are you not in it? Are you in it or you're not in it? Crystal says, I'm shocked there was even a first chance. Facts. So it is what it is. It is what it is. I have so much more I would say about Ed, but I just don't feel like it. And I really feel like I hate that they always start with him because then I have to like be like, oh, right? It puts my mood in like a mood. Like, oh, okay. Okay, Ed, what? What are you talking about now that's super crazy and selfish and manipulative? What? Let's just what? So it kind of wrecks it. But whatever. I'll hate watch. And then let's talk about Danielle. First and foremost, I want to say that this Robert character, I absolutely love them together. And I'm curious to know if they're still together because I haven't heard anything. No one sent me any tea about them. But I think they're a perfect match. I really think that they're a perfect match. Do you guys think they're a perfect match? Because I think that they're fantastic. I'll pop my question up before we start that segment. Should Danielle have shared about her past on the second date? Should Danielle have shared about her past on the second date? So Danielle's back for her girls' trip. She's still talking about Sunny. And you guys, I tell you this all the time. I don't understand why y'all don't listen. When you're on vacation, that's vacation bay. Vacay bay. Vacay bay is never. He's never and she's never. They're never. However your pronouns are, that person is never going to be your person. That person's going to be your vacay bay. Okay? You never make your vacay bay long term because they don't live where you live. Okay? They're in vacation mode too, and you're in vacation mode too. So your two representatives are showing up on vacay. Get it in, have a great time, and then be like, peace, that's great. Maybe we'll be Facebook friends. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, what? You haven't heard from Sunny? Well, because Sunny was never going to call you back. Not ever going to call you back because he was vacay bay. You guys went on one date. You even texted him while you were still there and he didn't respond. So are you surprised that you haven't talked to him? He's quote unquote ghosted you? No, he didn't ghost you. He wasn't really like feeling you like that, Danielle. He really wasn't. He had a good time for that day and then he kept it pushing. Like, know the difference. So, she is realizing, which I totally agree with her, you guys, that this dating game is no joke. Like online dating and the whole, like, if you guys are not single, you're super lucky because this dating game really is no joke. I agree with Danielle 100% on that. And do you have to have a thick skin to deal with dating? Absolutely, because it's like a crapshoot. You like give this person a chance, give that person a chance, give that person a chance. And, sometimes you think it's going to work out and it doesn't. And sometimes it does. And, it's like playing the slots. You might win it, you might not. But you got to keep it pushing. Crystal said, was Sunny sober? He might not even remember the date. Oh my God, Crystal. So what I'm proud about, like, let's give Danielle all the claps, okay? All the claps. Because she signed up for a dating app on her own. And what I love that she did, because she's a bit of a talker with her girls, is that she waited, had the date, and then the date went well. So then she told her friends, hey, I have a second date. I totally agree with that. Like, Danielle, chill out, date. When something becomes something, then talk about it. But if you're going on this random date and this random date and this random date, maybe you don't have to say every 5 seconds what you're doing every 5 seconds. Let it be something. Let it be about something. So I totally agree with her on that. So she's going on a second date with Robert, who's 50. He has kids. He's super tall. They went on a first date out to eat, and they just talked all night, and they totally got along, which I love it. I love it for her. And she gave us this little hint that she had not been on a second date in years, which was a little sad to me. Because, we know that she's already suffering from self-esteem issues. But I talked to you guys all about self-esteem. It has to come from who? Self, right? If you don't love yourself, it's going to be hard for someone else to love you, So let's work on that part. Anywho, they're going to go axe throwing. And her friends, Lexi and whatever the other chick's name is, they're all on a FaceTime call. And they're asking her all the questions. And they ask her, like, when was the last time she was intimate? And, of course, she talked about Muhammad. and what Muhammad said, and it's been a while because what Muhammad said. That's annoying, right? Because it's annoying. You guys know what I've said. I've said, and I say it all the time. That was 7 years ago. Take your power back. I understand that words are powerful. I understand that his words were hurtful. But if you have already rectified that situation, if indeed it was a situation, then you need to move past it. And if you can't move past it, then you need to go seek help to help you move past it, because no one wants to hear about it anymore. I'm sorry. We all know what Muhammad said, and we know he said it to hurt you. And whether it was true or not, it's been 7 years. Okay? But let's just bring it up for the fact of it. So it's been a while because of what Muhammad said. And then she talked about how in the beginning, like, they had a great sex life. And this part was super confusing to me because she said sex life with him in the beginning was good. They cuddled and they kissed and it was really nice. And I was like, well, is that sex or is that just intimacy? Because there's a difference. And so then I started questioning myself and what I thought, because remember when they got married, you guys, that they didn't even kiss, and he said because it was Ramadan so he couldn't kiss, but we already know that's not true because Rebecca and Ziad got married just before Ramadan, so it was like the whole thing. So now I'm questioning some things. I'm questioning some things, and I dare to say it. I'm going to say it. I don't even know. Should I say it, you guys? I'm just curious. Like, intimacy. I'll say this. I don't know what degree of intimacy they had in their marriage. I'll say it like that. Because if you're saying this, that in the beginning it was good, and you're talking about cuddles and kisses, and that's your definition of, I mean, to each their own, I suppose. I'm being nosy. And I have questions. And you guys know I always have questions. So she doesn't want to rush into anything because she wants to take her time, which I totally think that's perfect. She's baby stepping back into the dating world. I think that's great for her. And she's also not going to get dolled up because that's not her personality. She's not big into hair and makeup. She likes to be comfortable. And y'all, when she threw on her New Balances, I was like, oh. I mean, on the one hand, I get it. You want to be yourself, and this is the person that you're going to present all the time. But, like, it's your second date. Shouldn't you be, like, I don't know, dolling up because you haven't had a second date in years, according to your own words? Maybe maybe throw a little lip gloss on, a little blush on, you know? Maybe you have fancy sneakers and instead of your like old New Balance. I don't know, you guys. I just felt like she could have done a little something more. And maybe that's just me, but I guess like be you. I guess that's good. Just be yourself, I guess. I don't know. Second date though. I just feel like she should have dressed up just a little bit more. Anyhow, she puts on her New Balance on and she's waiting for Robert. And as she's waiting for, she could have dressed up, right, Nicole? Just a little, just a little, just, you know, just put on your fancy sneakers. You know what I mean? Get a little sparkly sneakers if you need to be comfortable. No one's telling you have to wear heels or wedges or whatever. But like her outfit was fine. I just felt like her shoes were just like, like those are the shoes you wear every single day. I can tell because they're all scuffed up. And you know, you're still making a good impression because it's your second date only. So, but Robert was great. And I think that they're a great match. He was great because he came to the door and, you know, he's looking for love himself and he's coming out of a bad relationship and he's a super gentleman. He brought flowers. He was thinking of her when he was on his trip to Arizona. He brought her souvenirs. So I was like, yay, this is so good. Like, he's a good match for her. And he seems to be patient because you guys, when he came to the door, and don't come for me, okay? When I'm about to say don't come for me, because I'm going to stand firmly by what I'm about to say. Okay. When he came to the door and her dog came to the door and was jumping all over him, I had an issue with it. First and foremost, love dogs, love dogs. I want a French bulldog so much, but like my schedule is crazy. I just feel like dogs need a lot of attention. Like if you have a kid, like you need to pay attention to them. Anywho, they should also be behaved. You don't know if he's a dog person. You don't know if he's an animal person. He comes to the door and the dog is excited and is jumping all over him. And like, I think he's the dog whisperer. I think that's his name. I just kept thinking of the dog whisperer. I was like, someone needs to control the dog. Someone needs to say, down, puppy, down, because you don't know what that guy likes. You don't know if that guy's a animal person. Maybe he has a fear of dogs, and now the dog is all jumping all over his body and like is not being controlled. And Danielle thinks it's funny, and I just think it's weird. And so that was the first thing I didn't like. I was like, someone needs to be in control of this. And then I was like, well, I get it, Laura. I get it that people think that everyone's going to love their dogs because you're a dog person. I'm a dog person too, but I also think too, like the dog whisperer says, and I think his name is Caesar. I think that's his name. Someone has to be in control. You have to be the master of the pack. And that's not what's happening right now. That's it. That's all I'm saying. So Caesar, yes, thank you, Judy. Caesar Milan, the dog whisperer. He would tell you that Danielle's dog was out of control, and it was not nice. Dog lover, and he's a dog whisperer. He's a super dog lover. That's all I'm saying. So, he was a good sport, and that's why I really enjoy Robert. He's a gentleman, is why I also enjoy him. He thought about her, why I love him for her. And so they're going on an axe throwing trip. By the way, you guys, that is such a great, like all these dates that are actual planned dates. I'm absolutely here for it. And my advice, plan the date, make it an activity, do something, because everyone loves that. Everyone loves a planned date. So they go axe throwing and Danielle sucks. But then I was like, is this a ploy? Because he's having to teach her. He's having to like she said, put his hands on her and position her and like make her, And I was like, oh, Danielle might have a few tricks up her sleeve. She plays all innocent and like naive and woe is me. But maybe she has because a lot of men, I'm not going to say all men, but a lot of men love to be the savior. They love to be the one that's like teaching you some things, especially if they're manly things. You know what I mean? So I was like, maybe Danielle's got a little game. Danielle's got game, y'all. So they're having a good time. She's not doing well. He's doing well. She thinks it's sexy. She's like, oh, that's very manly. And seeing someone do something manly is sexy. I'm here for it, Danielle. I'm here for this little union that's going on. Laura said, dudes be picking me up and asking me, so what do you want to do? Bro, you asked me out. Laura, see, that person is not the one. If you're asking someone out and you don't have a game plan, and especially you don't have a game plan when you come to the door, guess we're not doing anything. I'll see you when you have a plan. So they're axe throwing, they're having a good time. And then you guys, confusing to me, and again, you already know that I get a little confused by some things and I get distracted by things. She wanted to sit down because she said her feet were hurting. Your feet are hurting from your New Balances? Your sneakers are hurting your feet? You've been on your feet for 5 seconds in your sneakers that you wear every single day? Explain that to me. You ain't got no heels on, my friend. You said, and you made it a point to say, the reason why you're not going to get all dressed up and get your hair done and your makeup done is because you like to be comfortable. And you clearly were comfortable because you were in your New Balances. And if anyone knows about New Balances, like they're like the comfy, they're not Nikes or Pumas or whatever. They're like the practical, comfy sneaker. And your feet hurt? Like, what? What? But you want to sit down. Okay, so we'll sit down. And this is how, as soon as she said that, you guys, I knew it was going to go downhill. I didn't know why, but I felt it in my gut. I'm like, you're complaining after standing for 5 seconds. Something's not right here. And guess what? It went downhill because guess what she wants to do? She wants to talk. Great. Talk, communicate. But why though? Why though? Why? Okay, he's been married. He was married for 17 years, divorced for 10 years. And then I felt it coming because she said her baby daddy, they never got married, but they were together for 22 years. And then she was married, but only for a year and a half because he left her. And it's just been really hard to forget because there was issues when he left, and he left her with trust issues and low self-esteem. And she really feels that she needs to tell Robert all this stuff because she wants to put all her cards on the table so that they can work through her issues together. I mean, okay. Okay. Your your issues, you're going to dump on this man on the second date, and you're going to actually go into detail of what your issues are, and this is an issue from 7 years ago. It does that even sound like a proper thing to do? Does that sound like a good idea? Because to me, that sounds wild. That sounds wild. And here's why, you guys. Here's why. And again, I tell you guys all the time, the things that I think that have to be discussed that are important are your views on children, your views on money, and your views on sex, right? Those are very important, and religion, obviously. Now, it might just be me, but let's just say you're on your second date, okay? You're on your second date and you're vibing with that person. You're having a good time. They're having a good time. You guys love each other's company, and there's probably a little bit of chemistry, okay? And I will just speak for myself, okay? If I'm on this date and I'm vibing with this person, and then he proceeds to tell me on the second date that the reason why his spouse left him after a year and a half is because he was stinky down there. Do you think that that would be attractive to me? Do you think that that's going to make me want to actually be intimate with you? Or do you think that that might be like the last date? I'm just asking because, I don't know if that was the best idea. I'm all about communicating. You guys know that I say that all the time. Communication is key, but I'm just saying, like, there are some things that you can talk about and should talk about. And there's some things that if you've moved past it, which clearly she hasn't, and if you've rectified it, if it was an issue, then just say he left and I'm still dealing with some issues, abandonment issues and self-esteem issues, and keep it pushing. Like, what? What are you doing? So then she goes on to say that the comments that Muhammad said 7 years ago stopped her from dating. And then she starts crying, and then she needs a minute. I need a minute, Danielle. I need a minute from you. Because the whole time, this whole time that we've known you, all of these years, always crying. And then this issue, I mean, we've talked about this issue till blue in the face as far as I'm concerned. And I really need her to get over it because I feel like she's wrecking a great thing. I really think Robert's a great match for her. I really, really do. I really, really do. But I think she's going to scare him away with some of the things that she decides to talk about. And then she breaks down because you know what? When someone breaks down about something, you know that they're still hurt on it. And that means that they actually have not moved past it. And we all know, you all know, I know that she hasn't moved past it. And so what do I always say, you guys? You can't be broken and expect a full relationship. You got to be full and bringing your whole self to the table if you indeed expect to have a full relationship. And hurt people. That's what they say. It's unfortunate because I really do think that they're a match. I think he's really great for her. I really do. So to answer that question, should Danielle have shared about her past on the second date? I don't think she should have. And if she's going to talk about her past, I don't think that she needed to talk in detail about all the things, and especially about that thing, because that obviously hurts her, and then she's going to break down and cry in the corner, and it's a lot. It's a lot. Patty says, girl, you didn't even know Muhammad. Lose the fantasy. Yeah, the whole like, oh, listen, Patty, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. Moving on to Fernanda. Fernanda moved to Miami and she's loving her life. She loves Miami. She knows a lot of people there because of her modeling agency. And she is moving in with Noel, who's her new roommate, 30 years old, met him or knows of him through her trainer. And she's got a huge crush on him, y'all. Huge crush. Like, as soon as she saw his face, she had like roses. Is it roses in your eyes? Hearts in your eyes? Whatever. You guys know what I'm trying to say. She thinks he's a nice guy. He's a boxer. She thinks he's hot. And you guys, you know what I laughed about though? She's moving in, and I don't know about you. First of all, I hate moving because it's a lot of work, right? And so you either hire movers or you do it yourself. Clearly she was doing it herself, but she was like a princess with her bag, just one little bag. And he had these boxes that he was lifting, but the boxes to me looked like they were empty. I was just like, what kind of move is this? Where's the moving truck? And where do these boxes come from? Because they don't look like there's anything in them. But I mean, I get it for props and like, but like, let's make it look a little real. Have a little sweat coming down your face. And like, who wears a summer, like, oh, just don't get me started. Don't get me, like, who wears a summer dress when they're moving? You wear like your sweats or your jeans or your tank tops so you can get dirty because you're like picking stuff up and putting it down and moving and all. But no, this, like, your lashes are on, your hair's perfectly done, you got this beautiful summer. Who in real life does that? Crystal says they were already moved in and dating by then, I think. Yeah, those are facts. So, he's been in Miami. His name is Noel. He's been in Miami for a year and a half. He's from Germany. They have a little, like, let's get to know each other. She loves Miami because there's more opportunities, and she really wants to focus on her career, and she really wants to take her body to the next level so she can be able to work out all the time in Miami. Her first thing he asked her is if she's single. And then she asked him if he's single, and they're both single, and they're going to have the single life in Miami. And as you guys already know, they're dating. They've been dating. They're a couple. So all this talk about her like focusing only on her career and not jumping into another relationship and just like going out to Miami and dating, that all went out the window because that was her man. That is her man and has been her man for quite some time now. So for him saying you'll go on a lot of dates, because even you guys, all of it didn't even make sense. So like, who, by show of hands, who's lived with a roommate? I can tell you all the crazy roommate stories that I've had since university days. And like, some of them suck. Some of them are not going to help you move in. They're not going to help you move your boxes in. They're definitely not going to be like, hey, you're out, and text you, do you need a ride home? Like, they were doing the most. They were doing the most. They were already together. That's it. Like Crystal said, they were already together, but they were holding back as if they weren't together. So, she goes out with her friends, Sierra and Maggie, and she is still talking about Noel. She's talking about Noel so much that she has a picture of Noel, her roommate, in her phone. Isn't he hot? She's blushing over him. And her friends are like, don't do it because that's your roommate. And like, if things go south, then you're going to have to move or he's going to have to move. And since it's his place, really, you'll be the one that would have to move. But, Fernanda's going to do what Fernanda wants to do. And we all know that that's her man now. So obviously it worked out for her. She said that 2021 is her year. It's going to be a year of Fernanda, and she's going to focus on herself. And if you follow her on social media or see any of her social media, she's definitely focusing on this relationship. That's what she's focusing on. Her modeling and this relationship, and he's the one. And they've already traveled everywhere, and she's like super in love. And I'm here for it. Like, if he's the one, good. But I'm just going by what she said about jumping from one relationship to the next relationship to the next relationship. I mean, she's like, what, 22, 23? Some people can't be single. Like, they don't know how to, really. And maybe it's a case of that. I don't know. But it seems like a pattern, right? One relationship to the next one to the next one. Patty says, date a roommate if you can afford to pay for a broken lease. And Laura says, depends. If I've signed a lease, if it's month to month, sure. An actual lease, no. You guys are super funny. So that was it. That was all that we got from Fernanda. Dating a roommate. Should you date a roommate? My opinion is, should you date a roommate? I think you should date a roommate only if you have a exit plan and somewhere else that you can move to if it doesn't work out. And that you set your boundaries. Like, are you actually dating like you're in a relationship? Or are you guys just friends with benefits? Like, you're going to have to use your words. And if you use your words and you guys are both on the same page, then maybe. But what you can't do is catch feelings, and then your roommate hasn't caught feelings, and then it's all messy, and your roommate's bringing someone else into the house, and you get all jealous, and it gets messy. So you can, if you can handle it, and you're cool with that, and you guys are both on the same page. That's my answer. And then we have good old Brittany. Okay, so here's the thing before I get into Brittany, and again, this is my disclaimer because Fernanda does it too. You guys are like doing all the health and fitness stuff, but like you got full on makeup on. I don't understand. And people do it. Listen, people in Los Angeles do it all the time. They go to the gym and they have matching outfits. They have full hair and makeup. They have lashes on. And I just don't get it. This is how I go to the gym, you guys. I go to the gym. I roll out of bed. I wash my face. I brush my teeth. I throw on whatever gym clothes are clean. If they're clean, that's what we're going to roll with. Maybe my hair's in a bun. Maybe I have a bandana on, and off I go. Okay? Because you're going to be sweating and like messy anyways, and you're just going to come home and shower anyways. But like, what I'm not about to do is take 20 minutes to get ready to go to the gym. But whatever, to each their own. If that makes you feel great, then so be it. I just feel like plus makeup and then you're sweating and your pores and stuff. Like, I don't know. It's very confusing to me. Anyhow, Brittany, her shoulder's feeling better. Her friend Prince comes over. They're going to do a twerk out. Brittany explains that it's like a full-on workout. She used to teach twerking back in Miami. And she and Prince do a whole twerk thing. And here's my question to you guys. Do you that's watching right now, do you know how to twerk? Do you know how to twerk? That's my question. Do you know how to twerk? So her and Terrence do like a quick 5-minute twerk workout, and then they sit down and they start talking about Terrence, and she says that she's had great chemistry with him, but they're not exclusive, so she never slept with him, but she really likes him, and she thinks that they're good for each other. But guess what? She also ghosted him for the second time. So that first time when Justin was there, she ghosted because she wanted to check out what's going to happen with Justin. Didn't work out with Justin. Told Terrence that didn't work out with Justin, and basically he was plan B. And then she ghosted them for a second week. I'm going to tell you this right now. Okay. I'm going to tell you this right now. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You are not ghosting me twice and me saying, yeah, we're good. Let's go for lunch. Absolutely not. Terrence is a better person than me because absolutely not. Okay? Nope. Not this one. Nope. Nope. She already said that you were her second choice, and then she ghosted you for a second time, and you took her calls? Are you crazy? Oh, no. If you're setting up your relationship, this person is showing you who they are. You cannot expect them to be like, hey, I'm going to text you when I get home, and then be mad that they didn't text you when they got home, because guess what? That's the same person that didn't text you for 2 weeks twice. Ghosted you. Nope. But she does say that she's scared of being hurt. She has walls up. She pushes people away to protect herself, and she sabotages her relationships because she's scared of getting hurt, because she's been hurt in her previous 2 relationships with her husband and then Yazan. But she really does want to learn how to communicate better. And she asked her friend, Prince, do you think I can come back for that? And it was like crickets. Because how do, absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. Nope. And Terrence seems like a nice guy, you guys. He really does. And he's very patient with her. But nope. That is not what's happening right now. It's not. I don't care how good looking you are. I don't care how much chemistry we had, because if there's no consistency, how do you build a relationship off of that? How do you know that tomorrow they just won't wake up and say, hey, I'm going to ghost you again for a couple of weeks? And then because you've already taken them back one time, and then the second time, they're already going to think that you're going to take them back the third, fourth, and fifth, and sixth, and every single time that they do it, because you have. And you do, and you will. No, thank you. I'm not even going to go there. I don't know what's happening in the live comments, but okay. So do you know how to twerk? I don't know how to twerk, but it looks like it would be fun. It looks like it would be fun, and I've always wanted to learn that. And like pole dancing classes, those would be fun, and they are super good workouts, and they are really good for your core. Patty says, nope, above my pay grade. Judy says, nope, but I'm old. And Laura says, no, I do not. Yeah, I think it would be fun, ladies. I think it would be fun to learn. Last and certainly not least, and even before I go there, I just have a very special surprise for you guys. And I will say that you're gonna love it. And I'm going to pop it up right now. I need everyone to pay all the attention right now, because it's important. It's important to what I'm about to say next. So, you ready? Here we go. Here is your surprise. Hi, Colty. Okay, so Colt and Vanessa are on this trip, and you better believe I'm going to leave this up here for everyone's viewing pleasure, because it goes with this part of the story. Colt and Vanessa are in Big Bear, and they're on their special romantic vacation in the castle, and Colt has these purple panties on, and I'm calling them panties because they really are. They're panties. I didn't even know grown men still wore Speedo-like panties. Like, I just didn't know. Just like I saw on Pillow Talk, Alex said he stopped wearing those type of panties when he was 12. I didn't know that was a thing, but he has these purple panties. And guess what, you guys? The reason why I'm showing you this picture is because clearly that's his choice of briefs. He likes like the polo panty like briefs. It's his thing, clearly. And so the purple ones aren't, like he said on the show that he got it specifically for this trip, but clearly you didn't just get it specifically for this trip because this is your style. You got red ones on right now in this photo. So it's obviously something that you do, like that's your thing. So, okay, to each their own, right? To each their own. So the purple panties and the green shirt and then the butt shot that they showed, it was like a lot. There was a lot going on, you guys. There was so much going on. And again, what are we going to be talking about with Colt? We're going to be talking about sex because Colt apparently is a sex addict. He can't get enough of it. He just had a quickie. He asked for another quickie. And I got to tell you something, you guys. Asking for sex every 5 seconds is not attractive. You should just let it be because he's making it like a chore. Lori said, worst surprise ever. Surprise! He's making it like work and not sexy. It should just be natural. But when you're like asking for it every 5 seconds, you take like the wow factor of it. You take the sexy out of it. And she is feeling, that's how Vanessa's feeling, like it's a chore. And that's why she's feeling so insecure about their relationship because she doesn't know if she can keep up with him. And I think it, like I said to you guys last time, it's unrealistic. If you've got a regular job and regular adult responsibilities, there's no way in a 24-hour period that you're having sex 5 times every single day, 365 days of the year. It's impossible. Okay? It's impossible if you actually have like a life to live and adult responsibilities. And I'm going to throw in this as well, you guys. If you're having great sex, like great mind-shattering, mind-blowing, can't get enough of it, that's not happening 5 times a day. If you're having some quickies and, you know, Colt's eggplant picture went viral. I don't know how many of y'all have seen it, but that's all I'll say. That's all I'll say. I'll say if you haven't seen it, this is my lip balm. Anywho, they're talking about their intimacy issues again and again and again, and about their different sex drives and how much is enough, is not enough, and it's too much, and blah, 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 blah. And she wants to make him happy, but she's not sure if she can make him happy. She doesn't know if she'll ever be enough for him. And he's basically like, oh, just being with you makes me happy, and I love just spending time with you, and you're enough is what he's trying to say. So he's planned a picnic, and I'll give this to Colt. Colt plans dates. Colt is an excellent date planner. Excellent date planner. So he's planned a picnic, and he has brought the ring with him because, you know, he wants to still propose, even though they have these intimacy issues. And he's questioning if the timing is right, but then they sit down and have this little picnic with the mini sandwiches, and they start talking again about their intimacy issues. And she's worried that she can't live up to what he wants. She's worried that he's going to cheat on her. And she's worried of losing him. And she starts crying. Vanessa, this is why, you guys, there's someone for everyone. There is someone for everyone. Okay? Because Vanessa is making it like Colt's the prize, and that she is worried about losing him. And if she lost him, it would crush her. There's someone for everyone. There's someone for everyone. And I think everyone deserves love. So, you know, that's good to know. That's good to know that she feels like he's the prize. They say I love you to each other. And she explains that she's a little bit like Brittany, where she has a wall up and she doesn't really trust people and she doesn't really let people in. But Colt's the first person that she really can feel vulnerable with. And, you know, she can't believe it. She started crying because she's being so open and vulnerable with her. I think that's great. I think it's great. And I've said this before and I'll say it again. I think they're a great match for each other. I really do, because she knows all his dirty laundry and she puts up with it anyways. And she enjoys his company, and clearly she thinks he's a prize. She thinks he's sexy. If she loves it, I love it. And that's it. So because she cried, he decided that he's going to follow his heart, and he is going to propose at that park during that picnic. You know, and those photos already leaked online. We already know what happens. We already know that she says yes and they get married and all of that stuff. And I for one just feel like all these relationships move really, really quickly. But, you know, maybe they know something that I don't know. Maybe that's the case. I just absolutely don't know. But for some reason it's working. It's working for them very, very well. That was the show, you guys. That was the show. I can't wait to next week, you guys. We're getting so close to the tell-all, and I can't wait to talk about the tell-all with you guys. I can't wait to watch the tell-all in full. Tomorrow, you guys remember Ash from Ash and Avery? We are having Ash on the show as a special guest tomorrow, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Make sure you're here. We're going to ask him where he's been, what he's been doing. Is he coming back for another season of 90 Day? Is he dating anyone? We've got all the questions, and he's going to be here tomorrow. So definitely tune in for that. On Friday, we're doing our news and gossip show for our Patreon subscribers. I have been sitting on some tea, you guys, and it's just sitting. It's sitting in my phone. Is he doing a seminar? Black Shelly, you know what? You come back tomorrow and we'll talk about it. I'm sitting on some major tea, you guys. Like, you know, if you are my Patreon subscriber, you know that I do this. I sit on tea. And for some reason, I always know when to release it. And I think that might happen this Friday. I think that I might do that this Friday, just so that we have the weekend to just sit and think about what I'm about to do. Guys, I love you all. Definitely wherever you're watching, make sure to hit that thumbs up, heart. Like and subscribe. It helps. Laura says, I was going to ask about a seminar too. Well, you guys come back tomorrow and ask him yourself. Ask him yourself. Ask him what his seminar is like, if people still come, because he's still doing life coaching. He's still like an NLP certified counselor. So I'm excited because I have major questions. And you guys, I'll leave you with this because, you know, this is about to be a little messy. But, you know, the OnlyFans stuff leaks a lot, right? And a lot of the 90 Dayers are on OnlyFans. And, you know, his ex's photos leaked, and it was a shitstorm on social media. He posted something that was like a response to it, and we're going to talk about it. I'm going to ask him about it tomorrow, you guys. So definitely be here. Okay? All right. Good night. Love y'all.